All right, let's get this party started. I'm getting all gloved up. Getting ready to get this thing going. Should I invite you in?
No.
Okay. All right. You know, what I have here is just a 16 by 20 canvas, black. It's dry, there's nothing on it. I've got my paints all ready to go. We've got titanium white, lamp black from the Winsor Newton, Bob Ross phthalo blue, Bob Ross Prussian blue, alizarin crimson, and bright red. Those are the colors that we're going to be using today. And before I get going, since this is a wet on wet technique, I need to take this dry canvas and I need to make it wet. So what I'm going to do is put a thin even coat of this Bob Ross liquid clear on there. And if you can see, yeah, you can see into that. It's just clear. It's like a shellac. It's linseed. I guess you could use linseed oil from what I've heard. And the Grumbacher has a liquid clear of some sort. But I'm just putting a little bit on here. I got it pretty thick there. I don't need it that thick though. And this painting here, one I did a couple weeks ago, is loose and I'm moving it. All right, I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna really scrub it in. Just gonna scrub it into the fibers of this canvas. And it does not take much of this to just get the canvas wet. And odds are, you think you've got enough on there, you've actually got too much. After I get this all scrubbed in there really good, get this canvas wet all the way around, I can step off to the side and I can see the light reflecting on it to see where it's thin and where it needs a little bit more. And you just want a little shine everywhere. And I know over here it's a little thick. We're just getting it scrubbed in there. I thought about doing this ahead of time, but I wanted to make sure to give you guys an every step. You know, so there's nothing, if you wanted to find this, you know, or have this video and wanted to do this, you can do it from start to finish. Because after I get done here, I download the video and I put it on that tube thingamajiggy. So if anybody wanted to find it over there, they could and actually paint this painting later. All right, now I need to clean that out of that brush. Now, and over here, to clean the brush, I've got this bucket, and it's got a little screen down in the bottom, and it's got odorless paint thinner in it. And I can scrub the bristles along the bottom of that and get all the paint out of it. And then I've got this, just a trash can, and it's got a towel rack or a dish rack, some sort of a little screen down in the bottom that you can just, I had to bend it to get it in here, but just so you can beat the brush on it. And it gets all that paint thinner out of there. on some paper towels to get the last little bit of it out. So, all right. My brushes are way over here. I'm all out of sorts today. Need to get my brushes over here so I can use them. Also, a little bit later, I'm probably going to be using some of this Bob Ross liquid white. And that'll help thin my paints a little bit when we get into it. Because in this technique or whatever, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. So that will help thin the paint down without diluting the color with a paint thinner. We don't have to do that. But it also makes it brighter, and I want to be able to keep the tones of the paints in there. So, whoops, I need a paper towel. I want, like I said, if you think you've got it all covered, you've probably got too much. So it's a good idea to come back with a paper towel and just get all that excess off. You can see some of the black from the canvas. I bought this one already pre-colored black, but if you don't have it, you can use a regular white canvas, and you can use this Liquitex black gesso, acrylic black gesso, and you can paint that all down I use just a cheap sponge brush, and you paint it down and let it dry. It'll dry super fast, but sometimes it's easier just to have it already done for you. So now that we've got this all covered with a nice even coat of that liquid clear, I'm going to come up here and this darker of the blues, it's the Prussian blue. I'm going to get a little bit of that paint, and I'm going to tap it into the bristles. Now, I'm feeling a little patriotic today, since the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, and I'm in New England. And I'm going to try to do a flag. So up here in this upper corner, I'm going to take this blue, and I'm just going to put a nice coat of blue up here. Just a nice thin coat of blue. Now, this blue is a transparent color, so I put it up here and you really can't see it. I put it on really heavy and you can see a little bit of a color, but because of its being transparent, it just looks black. All right. So just like that, we've got this corner done with blue. With this Prussian blue, make sure that's all in there. Nice light coat. Just like that. And this is just kind of a base coat, so long as you got it in here and it's even, that's good. And I'm cleaning my brush. I got to put some red stripes in here, and with the blue on the brush, we don't want them to be purple. So, clean the brush. Just beat the devil out of it. All right. Now, for the red stripes, this crimson is a little bit too dark, and the bright red is too bright. But if we take it down, and the crimson's also a transparent color, and this bright red's a semi-transparent. So if we take both of those and just kind of mix them together, we kind of get a better red. Just kind of a mix between it. And then I'm going to come up here, and right over here beside that blue stripe, I'm going to add in a blue square, I should say. I'm going to add in this red stripe. All right, now this isn't going to be exactly like a flag. It's not going to have the 13 stripes, but it will have a bunch of stripes. Let's just kind of lay them out real easily, real quickly here. Yeah, we'll just real quickly lay them in. You know what? I'm not going to go all the way across with these. I'm just going to do a little bit here in the center, or on each side. Because I'm going to put kind of a river or something down in here, I think. And if I put this red in there, my river is not going to be blue. It's going to be purple or red or... Yeah, now I'm just going to kind of brighten those colors up a little bit so they stand out really good. Just a little bit more of the bright red. Ooh, look at that. That's nice and red. So, get that to stand out really good. There we go. All right. Now that we got those in place, I'm going to wash the brush again. I really should have several sets of brushes out here so I don't spend all my time washing them out. But that's half the fun in painting, is just to wash out the brushes and beat the devil out of them. My wife doesn't like it because when I beat them, it gets paint thinner everywhere and gets all over the walls, and even with a trash can, it gets out a little bit. But all right. So how's everybody doing today? Everybody ready for the big game tonight? Hello. I can't quite read the name. Brand Vime? Something like that? I'm sorry if I screwed up the name, but hello. How are you today? So, I'm going to go into some liquid white now. Just gonna load up this brush. It's a fan brush. Gonna load it up with some not liquid white, some titanium white. And between these red stripes, I'm gonna just add some, just twisting it around. Just kind of some cloud type shapes, just like that. And I'm not going to clean that brush, but I am going to wipe the blue off of it. I'll go into that white again, and down here in this one, I'm going to do the same thing. And the challenge is, see, I got up into the red, and that's all turning kind of pink. The challenge is to stay out of that red. All right, we got a couple good stripes there. So now I'm going to clean the brush. And I'm going to take a 1-inch brush and just using the top corner, I'm just kind of blend these out a little bit. You know, just like that. Now I'm going to knock off any excess paint I picked up. And I want to do the same thing to this one. Just kind of soften them out a little bit. Just like that. And now, with just a little bit of that white. I'm not going to put much on there. I'm just going to come up here and just lightly gonna drop in just a little bit of that white. I just need to brighten that section up just a touch. But I don't want it too bright. You know, so just like that, I think. Just kind of blend out the brush strokes. Yeah, I think that'll work. And that's kind of like a night sky, and since the American flag has stars up there, I think we're going to put some stars. But I'm not going to sit here and put 50 stars into that little spot. So I'm going to take a little bit of liquid white, and I'm going to put it on the edge of my palette here. I've just got a little bit right here, and I'm going to take this brush and I'm going to run it across the edge, and it's going to bend those bristles back, and then it's just going to fling. It's going to fling that liquid white onto the canvas, and you can put as many or as few as you like, but you want to make sure it's pretty thin where you're picking it up. Otherwise, you're going to have really big spots. And then we have some stars. I'm not sure if you can see them from the camera. I hope you can. Hello, hello. This is giving me ideas for your next painting. Hey, Cass, welcome in, welcome in. All right. Now, let's see what kind of mischief we can get into. I'm going to take over here. I didn't get enough of that crimson, but I think we'll be all right. I'm going to take some black, some blue, and crimson, and I'm going to mix it together, and it's just going to make this dark purple color. Now I'm going to need quite a bit of that, so we'll make up quite a bit. Now I really like this clear palette, because when I draw it down really thin and I start scraping it away, I can kind of see the color, and it does definitely kind of lean towards a purple. Just scrape it all up, and then you lay it down in a sheet like that, and that will just help mix it together. And a lot of times we'll just do that a couple of times and leave the paint marbled, and that makes all kinds of magic happen. But right now I want this mixed really well, so it gets a nice dark color. I'm going to take a little bit of that dark and just a little bit of white over here. I want the same color, just a little bit lighter. So I'm going to paint a couple different mountains here, and the further away the mountain is, the lighter the background color. So I'm going to use this lighter color. I've got it drawn out nice and flat, and I'm going to take the knife and slide it across, and I've got this nice little roll of paint right on the end of that knife. And then up here we're just going to decide where it lives. And I'm going to cover up some of those white cloudy areas. And let's call it right about here. All right. We're going to just like something like that. We'll give it another little peek over here. And all I'm interested in is this top corner. I don't want it that jagged of a peak. It's all right if it goes straight up and down, but just like that. And we'll cover up some of that white down here. And then I'm just going to scrape up as much of that paint as I can, leaving that top line. And then I can just put it back on the palette to be used later. So, clean off the knife. And then with my, going back to my 1-inch brush, I'm just going to take that, and being careful of that top, I'm just going to extend this paint down. Just going to go like that. Just smooth it down, and you can start building where your ridges are going to be. You can really start building your mountains as you do this, and it gives you an idea what they're going to look like. You know, I can have this side kind of come in like that. All these angles matter. All right. Clean that brush off. All right. Beat the devil out of it again. Get all that paint thinner out of the brush. All right. Now I'm going to take this white. Take some of that white. And it had a little bit of blue in there from when I grabbed it earlier, but that's all right. I probably ought to take this down here. All right, because I'm going to take, I got that white that has just a touch of blue, not much. I don't want it to be quite bright, but I'm going to take just a touch of the mountain color. Well, not that much of the mountain color. I'll take some more white down here. Oh, look, I already had enough on my knife. But I want it a little bit bluer. There we go. Just like that. And this is going to be our shadow color on that mountain. So just like that. All right. And I'm going to take some of that shadow color, and I'm going to come up here. I'm going to grab by the ferrule, and just going to have this, and my finger's just going to do the steering. But you barely want to touch it, and you just come down like that. Pick up a little bit more of the paint, and you just drop in on the shadow side. Just like that. All right. Now you get rid of the rest of that off your knife. And then I'm going to grab the white. And up here, just going to go down. And the further down you get, the further to the base of the mountain, the more you want it to go horizontally. Oh, I picked up some red. That's all right. And I'm just going to do all. Just gonna go in here and do all of them. And then, you know, Just work it, work it. And if you want this one to, you know, maybe it has another peak over here. Like that. And then if you bring it over like that, you gotta give it some little bit of shadow there too. All right. Now I'm gonna grab the big 2-inch brush for this one, and I'm gonna just really lightly just drag that up using the same angles of the paint. You just very easily drag it. Now this bottom's going to drag a little bit of that red up into it, but that's okay. If you get too much paint on the brush, just go beat it off. And then down here, we're just going to kind of blend that out. Just like that. All right. Huh? Cass had a question? Or just one? Yeah, I'm going to do 2 mountains. Now, there's going to be another mountain over in here. So this one's set further back. I've got, that needs to blend out just a little bit more. I want that red still showing through in good shape. So we'll just blend that a little bit. I want that red. There we go. And then, where's my white? There it is. I'm going to take this white and I'm going to come over here, and again, I'm going to just kind of smush and flip it around, flop it around. Just kind of get crazy. Just get crazy. And then with a 1-inch brush, really lightly here and there, just kind of blend that out a little bit. Just like that. Just give us another little cloud layer. And clean the brush. That all nice and clean and dry. What's everyone think so far? Everybody enjoying this so far? Where's everybody from? I see we got a few people in here. All right. Yes, Sandy's enjoying it. I see Cass is tapping away down there. All right, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to get some of this dark color. I had a whole bunch on there. Yeah, get a nice roll of that dark color. And then starting down here somewhere, where are we going to start? Let's start right over in here. We're gonna drop in a couple more mountains. Let's get dropping some in. We're gonna really, let's get a little crazy here. I'm just gonna fill in the base of that. Just smooshing in some color. Smoosh, that's a technical term. Smooshing it in, smooshing it in. Just like that, I think. I think we'll go with that. And again, I'm going to scrape off all this extra paint, including some of this white and red down here. Just going to get that all off in there. And then again with the 1-inch brush, we're just going to drag that down. And kind of shape our mountains again. Here we can come straight down if we want, or at an angle. We can have that come a long slide down there. And off the back side. And just kind of lay out the mountain the way you want it to. And there, I think I like that. I like that a lot. All right, clean the brush. All right. And then I'm going to take the same shadow color I had from before, but where the mountain's a little bit darker, this will show up like it looks like it's a lot closer to us. And I forgive me, but because the camera is backwards, it's not mirrored. So it looks like the flag is flopped around, but it's not. Whoops. Oh, look at that. I just made a goof. I just goofed. But you know what? That's all right. Because you can go in and you can pick that right up, put it back over here. Take that shadow color again and we'll go off the back side. Now, when you put these highlights on, you want a very little pressure. I know I tend to put my finger up there, but you just want to, the less pressure you have, the more you're going to get this breaking effect. You want that color to break. Just like that. All right. And now we'll go into the highlight color where the sun is shining from this side. See, I screwed up that. That's why I screwed up this side. And where that blue, that darker shadow color is showing through, it just looks like a deeper area on the mountain. But just like that. Like I said, light, very lightly, very light pressure. And it's faster you go, the easier it is. Just like that. You don't really want the knife to touch much at all. You want it really light. You know what? I'm gonna add a little bit more over this way, just like that. That kind of comes around. And then a little shadow color. Oop. But like I did over here, and I made that mistake, and it doesn't even look like a mistake now. Just can't tell. So like that. I'm gonna take this. Now I'm going to do that. I like the 2-inch brush for doing this because it's a little bit bigger, it's a little bit softer, and I'm just going to drag up, following the same angles, just kind of blurring out the base here a little bit. And over here on this side, you do the same thing. All right. And then, yeah, I like the limit. Sometimes that's just a little bit too big. And I'm just gonna kind of almost like mist out the base of this. And a little bit too much paint. There we go. Just can even add in a little bit of white. Just blending this a little bit. Just in circular motions, just kind of spinning that up a little bit, and it makes it look like fog. And I set it down into the painting a little bit here. Just like so. All right, then I'm back over to clean that paint off that brush. All right, clean that off. And now we have 2 mountains. Yeah, what's everybody thinking so far? All right. Looking good, huh? All right, what do I want to do now? Down here in the foreground, I think I'm going to have a river that kind of comes around and comes down. And in order to do that, we're going to need a little blue in there. A little bit of white. I could probably almost use the shadow color. So let's kind of add some. Let's add some water in there. And I'm just trying to go straight back and forth. I got a little bit of a smiley face going on there, but that's all right. So we're just going to add that blue in there. Just like that. Maybe even just darken that down a little bit. And I'm using phthalo blue for this. It's a little bit brighter of a blue. I use Prussian blue up there in the mountains, but phthalo blue is a little bit brighter. So there we go. Got ourselves a river down there. Well, the idea of a river anyway. And then I just cleaned that brush. Clean the blue out of it, and I'm going to come up here into this dark black mixture that we made, and I just need the idea of some land back here. Now I need fairly dark paint. There we go. Just some darkness back here. It's almost like a foothill, and that river's got to come from somewhere back here. So we're just kind of adding in some darkness. And I'm even going to touch a little bit more of the straight black, just to give that edge, that upper edge. I'm graying out a little bit because of the white on the canvas, but that's all right. That's all I need back there for now. And I'm probably going to regret this, but I'm going to clean this brush. I'm probably not done with it, but we'll give it a good cleaning anyway. All right. Get all that paint thinner out of it. Whoops. I'm going with a fan brush. I'm going to go with my bigger fan brush. And again, right, ooh, I haven't used that one. It stiffened up a little bit. I'm going to go right through that dark. A nice dark mixture. And I'm going to squiggle it back and forth. I want this to come to a nice sharp point. And that helps spread the bristles out, loads up a lot of paint in that brush. And then over here, I'm going to add in some... We're going to add in some evergreens. Just like that. Just a hill with some evergreens on it. Oops. That brush started getting smooshed down. But just using the upper corner. And you'd want to vary the height, and I'm coming down into this darker area. So this is almost like it's getting further away, but losing that sharp edge to it, so. There we go. You don't want to get up into the white of that mountain too much like I just did, because that'll make these nice and gray. So we don't want that. And then we'll fill out the bases of these a little bit. And right up in here, I want a couple of taller ones kicking up through there. There we go. And now we're just gonna tap out the bases of them. Careful where I'm going. Holy crap, what did I do there? But it's all right. Just happy accidents, as Bob Ross used to say. There are no mistakes. And when I first started painting, I actually took lessons from a certified Bob Ross instructor. And he saw something in me and invited me down to become one, but unfortunately I couldn't make the scheduling work, so I never made it down there to try. And thanks for that question, John. I actually stole this from another artist. I saw it and it was such a great idea that, and I'm a veteran, so I loved it so much I had to recreate it myself. So I can't take credit for the design or the basic idea of it. We're just going to tap out the base of those. And I'm even going to grab a little bit, just a little bit of this whitish color. And just kind of lighten that up a little bit. Just trying to make some foggy type area down here. I got too much paint on, dark paint on this, so we'll get rid of that. So we'll add a little bit of misty type area. Yeah, just like that. And I'll clean that brush. All right. Sandy just got the number 2 viewer badge. Nice. All right. That paper towel's about had it. All right. Oh, let's see. I need some of this darker color to just kind of, I need to firm up the bank a little bit here. Yeah, maybe a little bit more white. I've got too much blue in that white. Holy cow, what am I doing here? I'm having a technical malfunction. Where is all that blue coming from all of a sudden? It's amazing. Now let me clean my brush real quick, because I don't need all that blue. Even though it would probably turn to a nice pretty purple down there. It might be good. Let's just... There we go. That's more what I want. I want to stay away from that red just for the... Yeah, what the heck. There we go. Just kind of defining the land a little bit. But that red, when you put white to it, it takes over. All right. Clean that brush. We got that backside cleaned up a little bit. I need a little liquid white. So we need just a little bit of a waterline type deal down here. Definitely need to clean up this back a little bit. But I think that will work for now. Another way you can actually do a water is pretty simple. You drag your fan brush through some white, and you just kind of scrub it back and forth, and it adds a little bit of dimension. Just like that. Yeah, that looks better to me. All right. Now with this fan brush, I need more of that dark color. Yeah, no, I got enough for now. I can mix it up on the brush as I go. I need, yeah, we need a tree. Yeah, let's put right in here, we'll put a nice evergreen. Nice, big, tall. Right there. That's where it's gonna live. Bring it up just into the base of that mountain a little bit. All right, now you want the fan brush to be fairly sharp, and you use the corner and you kind of tap upward as you come down. If you look at these evergreens, at the top of the trees, the branches are kind of going in an upward direction. And as you get closer to the bottom, they're more straight out. And then as you get down closer, the bigger branches are a little heavier and they start drooping. So just like that. And then, as I remember Bob always said, Bob Ross, when I watched him on TV, hey, everybody needs a friend. So we'll put another one over here. And built the same way, just using the corner to begin. And the further you come down, you just back and forth. You add a little more pressure, and pretty soon you're using most of the brush. Just like that. And where their butts land is how close they are to you. There we go. Clean that brush up, and we'll add some highlights to that bad boy. All right. I'm running out of colors, so give me just a second. Add a couple more colors back to my palette here. I tend to run out. I underestimate how much I'm going to need, especially on these winter ones where I use a ton of white. I'm going to need more of my dark purplish color, so I need more crimson, and used up most of my black too. So we'll get just a little bit more of each one of them. All right. Let's clean up the palette just a touch. Now, all this mountain color and everything else that I made up, we're just going to scrape that up into a pile. See what kind of color that comes up with. That's a little too dark for anything I want. All right. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of that white, bring it down here, and there's enough blue there. So maybe just a touch more. Almost making the similar color as we did for the shadow up here on the mountains. Now, just like that. Uh-oh, my phone is going to die. That's not a good thing. I looked at my phone and the screen is dark. Well, let's see. If I can give it a little bit of juice. I'm at 2% on the phone. Uh-oh. That is not good. Let me show you how to do these highlights real quick then. I'm going to take the fan brush and I'm going to take some of that blue, and on the back side of these, I'm just going to kind of tap. All right, and then I got to do both trees. Just back and forth here and there. And then I got to take some white, and I've still got just a touch of the blue in there. But we're gonna add some on the bright side. And I'm just tapping. All right. Just like that. And I hope that my phone keeps charging. Oh, it's at 10%, sorry. So, all right. Now over here on this other side, we're gonna add in another big tree. But I need more of that dark. Need to make up some more of that dark color real quick. I'm a mess today. But we're getting this done. There we go. Just like that. Almost like that. All right. So I am going to add. Oh, good. That's going up. So that's a good thing. Charging well. So back to plan A. I am going to drop. Yeah, I'm going to put a nice big evergreen right here. And when I'm coming down across this mountain, I got to be careful to make sure to have lots of paint, because it's going to pick up that color from the mountain and it's going to dull out my black. All right, and it's going to come right down here. Just like that. And this one's close enough that I'm going to take a little bit of this white and just touch it there. I'm going to cover most of that up, so. Normally I would use brown, but it's the winter, so it's got snow in there. And I got to clean all that darkness off this brush. All right. I'm going to come back over to the shadowy color. And I'm going to tap on that. And I'm going to come in. Whoops, that's liquid white. Wow, I am really bad today. I'm just gonna tap in some highlights on that tree. All right, now that tree looks like he needs some help out there. He's all lonely, so we're gonna, in that dark color, just gonna start tapping in and adding. Really doesn't translate well, but we're just adding some bushes. And it hides that whole shoreline too. So, just like that. I think that's going to work just fine. All right, clean that brush up once again. And when it's clean, I'm going to dip into some liquid white. Come up here and I'm going to grab some white. And I'm going to mix that. And then I'm probably even going to come down to some of this blue. And I'm just going to tap it to spread those bristles. And then I'm going to come up here. And one thing you can do is you draw it in one way. Draw it down. And when you lift it up, you can see the bush right there. You can see a bush mark with the brush. When you get that, you know you're right. And then you turn it so that rounded side is up, and you just kind of come up here and you just start tapping them in. And as you tap in, it's going to pick up that color, that background color. Now, if you look at the brush, see it's all dark. That's not white in there. That's all dark. So you can either wipe it off on a towel, or you can go down into your beater and you can knock it off. And you do the same thing. And you don't want to drag it like I just did there. But you just kind of here and there, and you can change up the color just a little bit. In a winter scene, you don't want to change it up too much, but and you don't want to lose all that dark. That darkness down there, that is your friend. When you do this, you do want to come up over the edge of the dark that you put in. And then you just kind of tap them in. Just tap them in, each individual bush. Just like that. And you know what? I'm gonna go back to my fan brush. Just add in some white. You know what? I'm messing up. I tell you, I'm a mess. I want to do dark. You got to do dark before you do light. Just kind of tap in some bushes over there. But just like that, you can see that I made a couple mistakes, and I just covered them up. It's that easy. Now I'm going to come back in with a liquid white and a little bit of that white. And these fan brushes, you can make some pretty interesting bushes with them as well. Just like that. All right, clean them brushes up. We're almost done here. Just a few more little finishing details. All right. Clean that brush up. All right. More of that liquid white because we need a little bit more of a water line there. Yeah. Now I'm going to clean my knife off. And it doesn't have anything on it. Oh, great. Get that puzzle piece in there. Had to take my glove off to do the puzzle piece so I didn't lose out on this. But I have nothing on the palette knife. And what I'm going to do is just come up here. And it doesn't work as well on a dark canvas, but I'm going to add in just some sticks. It does leave a little bit of tracks in there. I can grab my liner brush and dip into a little bit of paint thinner and go right into my dark. And make a really, really fine, runny paint here. And then you can twist. You can twist that brush and it comes up to a point. And you can come up here and you can add little sticks anywhere you want. Got a little bit of a drop hanging off in there. You can add little sticks sticking up. You know, here and there. Just like that. And it just adds a little bit more interest. A little bit more to your painting. And using that same dark color, I'll just get that going. I think that I will come down here and add my initials and call that one done. Just like that. I think that one's pretty good. What's everyone think about that? All right. And as I'm cleaning up over here, getting ready to clean up. Oh, there we go. Get these things covered up before I make a mess. That would be a bad thing. Oh, what have we still got in here? Just the fam. That's all right. So what do you all think of that? You think that'll do? You think that'll serve? Thank you, Ness. I appreciate it. Yeah, like I said, I can't take credit for the overall design because I saw another painter do it, but do I? It doesn't surprise me. We're just told I have paint all over my face. I get right into my work. But I hope everybody's enjoyed this, and I hope you take something away from it and you've learned a little bit. So with that, I think I'm going to end this, and I hope to see you all next time. With all that, I hope you have happy painting, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.